Alright, 2 picks. There's no way you can screw this up. You have the smokes, you just run up. That's literally all you have to do. There's one cypher maybe on site. That's probably it. Please, please, smoke spawn. No. Smoke one more smoke, please. Throw. You have more smokes. You can throw the smokes. Why are you not crossing out to site? Throw the smokes. Use it. No! Just smoke, please! Okay, one thing before I actually talk about it in the gameplay, I think you need to turn up your sense or something, because I hear like elephant feet, like they're stomping. It's a stampede every time you try to do a 180. To me, that's a sign that it's probably a little bit too slow. I personally feel like I am comfortable if I can do a 180 with one swipe of the mouse, from left to right. Maybe you have a small mouse pad, I get that. But in the case, if you don't, then maybe think about upping your sense a little bit, because clearly it's a struggle to pick up the spike. So that kind of says something. What's up guys, Flo here. So it's commonly known that Astra is one of the, if not hardest agents in Valorant. But how exactly does that transfer when there are lower ranked players that are trying the hardest agent? Well, today I am going to be taking a look at a VOD that was submitted by one of you guys, and I'm going to give my 2 cents as an Astra main to see if I can help out them or any of you guys. To start off, this player is Silver 2, normally plays Sage or Killjoy, but recently has been trying to pick up Astra. And their favorite player happens to be Sentinel Shazam. So let's hop into the video and see how he does. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to do is take a look at the comp, and the map is Fracture. We have a Sage, a Jet, Astra, KO, Sky. Normally, Killjoy and Breach are almost interchangeable on this map. Keep that in mind because Killjoy ult literally gives you B site for free. And because Killjoy is so prevalent with her ult, then that comes in the need for Breach so that you can actually aftershock the ult. So those are 2 agents that are missing that I would have liked to have on the team. But regardless, that's not your fault.
Like, if we're going B, like, put like 3 front B and like 2 back B.
Yeah, sure. I think the spike should be in a group of 3 though.
Yeah, that's a pretty good decision. Usually on a site split, you try to send the spike over to the side with more players. Since you always have 5, it's always going to be uneven. That way, in the case that one side gets wiped, the other side at least still has spike. You know, it's harder to wipe the 3-player side than it is the 2-player side. Also, I do want to bring up, bro, how does he use his abilities? Because it's set to the home key and the end key, and at least on my keyboard, that's literally on the right side of my keyboard. And delete for ult. I don't know, he's probably got some macros. I ain't gonna judge.
Smoke it?
Yeah, smoke it.
So he smoked out Heaven, but keep in mind that means he doesn't have 2 smokes, the smoke generator and canteen.
Jet, am I good to come in?
That's the issue. Now he does because they played a little bit slower. It was a nice pick. You should really be dropping the smokes now. It's already kind of, I mean, it's good that his teammates are already on site, but at this point, it's like, what's the point of the smokes? You already have the site. Nice. I mean, yeah. Okay, so it was a good round, the fact that they won it, but if we're gonna go back and kind of recap, he smoked Heaven. That's good. Allows the Jet to get the orb. Keep in mind, though, when you smoke early in the round, something like Heaven, you're going to have a hard time taking the rest of site because of the fact that you are lacking 2 smokes now. You saw that he put 2 smokes, one for Canteen and one for Spawn, yet he never smoked them until he was already on site. Kind of pointless smokes. What's the point of dropping stars if you're not going to actually use them? Alright, going into Astra Forum, you're going to smoke out Heaven, and you have Canteen and CT. Alright, 1, you need to smoke out that Heaven one as soon as possible, because what's going to happen is right now you are still on cooldown for both your smokes. If you smoked it earlier, you get your cooldown off cooldown. Well, you get off cooldown early. Also, you should be smoking as your team is running up, so smoking Canteen first allows your teammates to push up. Much easier. One, at least having 1 is better than none. So around this area, yep, you should get ready to smoke. The second one should be for spawn.
Recovering it. Just for Jets. Good job.
Nice job, nice job. You gotta keep fragging out. Oh no. Oh no, not like this.
Last player standing.
Shit.
Oh no, not like this.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, you can do this. Come on. 1v5. 1v5. Keep going. Keep going. Oh my god, he's doing it. The last guy's low.
Well divided.
Oh. Honestly, he has a Marshall. I think the move is actually to push through the wall and kill him.
30 seconds left.
Do something he doesn't expect. Oh no, not like this. There's a camera right next to you. Oh, he missed the tag. Oh my god, he's on site. Pull him. Oh!
Nice job. Let's go.
As hype as that was, there was a ton of mistakes being made. Number one, you forgot how many stars you have. You put 2 toward the B site, and then in essence, you put another 1 toward satellite-ish, which means you have 2 stars left. Now those 2 stars, where do they go? They usually go spawn and the heaven area window. I'm not really actually sure where it is, but you smoked that one correctly, or at least you placed a star. The funny thing is, the smokes are the most important part. Everything else is kind of a cherry on top. If you don't have the smokes, you're not playing a controller, right? So when you start trying to drop your last star on site, that was immediately just a bad idea. You have good timing, noticing your teammates are in drop and you are outside A main, so you guys are ready for the site exec. It's time to drop your stars, it's time to smoke, it's time to do whatever abilities you need to do to help your team get on site. Perfect. Dropping the star heaven, great. Allows your teammates from drop to get down more safely. Second star, don't put it on site if you don't have another star for a smoke. This is probably because you just weren't counting the stars that you have. But if you already put 2 toward B, 1 toward the satellite, and you pulled that 1 back, it still takes time to recharge. Realistically, you just put your second star spawn and you would have been fine. Your teammates can just fight the guy on site. With no intention to be rude or anything, the funniest part to me is 2 things. One, when you realize that you don't have enough stars, you go and try to pick up a star from the B site, which is understandable. But the thing is, it doesn't matter, it's too late. Stars take at least 5 to 10 seconds. Honestly, I don't even remember how long it takes to be available to you. But the idea is that it's not going to be available immediately. Meaning that it's not going to help you in this situation because look at your teammates, they're coming out on site. In this case, you make the best out of a bad situation and you just push with your teammates and you try to get the kills that you can. Next is the Astra that you're trying to throw after getting 2 kills is actually a pretty solid one. It's just very clear to see you're not very used to Astra, since I could see you also fumbling to try to get this Astra out. Remember, it's right click, left click, left click. Alright, right click to activate the ult part of your astral form, left click to set the first point, left click to set the second point, and you'll be good. And if you spend the time to remember that, you can do astral walls super fast. Nice clutch after that. Don't immediately go into astral form. You want to make sure that that guy's not pushing you. Hug one of the walls or just take the aggro fight. You actually know that he's kind of low because you tagged him a few times in CT. Taking the fight into your hands so that you can determine when you're ready and not for him to dictate that would likely have given you a better chance at winning. And hopping into your astral form at the worst time might be the only way you lose. Much better smoke timing. That's a good pull. In cases like that, you just want to drop. So I get that you're scared of coming out of the smoke because someone's there, but your teammates are fighting. So meaning as long as you drop, you will get traded. But if you take this time and you let your teammates die and then you drop, now that player that you're worried about has a chance to get both kills because you are staggered. Just come out at the same time. Trading is the worst they get. That's actually good for the attackers. So keep that in mind. After your smoke fades and you're on site, normally you need to re-smoke again. So what you're going to want to do is that after you notice the spawn smoke is down, go back behind this pillar where you can't be shot from and then drop another smoke. This is very common and you're going to need to learn this for multiple types of executions because Astra smokes usually last just long enough for you to get onto site and then you're going to need another set to be able to continue holding the site. And if you think about it, had you dropped this smoke, you probably would have been more ready for this fight with the Omen because there are less angles to worry about. I kind of see your crosshair kind of drifting lower, kind of being at the ground. Remember, lift that up toward the body, chest, and head. And always keep in mind which angles you need to be worried about.
I stop looking at my fucking minimap. Why I do that?
Alright, I don't like this wall.
I think on top actually.
Ooh, nice try, nice try. So the reason why I don't like this wall is you kind of left your sage out to dry. So if you kind of look at the mini-map here, basically this wall doesn't allow your sage to fight and she's actually still equally in trouble. Like she still has to focus on everything. This was a very like, oh, I'm just trying to get onto site sort of wall. But you have a sage who's pushed up into sand. So guess what a better wall would be? Probably a wall from like, that walls off heaven and spawn. So like this diagonal wall. And then that way your sage would feel comfortable pushing out and be able to help you when the retake comes in through spawn or through like drop. Like this makes the sage come more into play. instead of this wall, which essentially makes it very hard for you to know whether defenders are pushing out of spawn, getting close to the wall, ready to retake. You wouldn't know. You can't hear it. It can work as a double-edged sword, so make sure you use it more to your effect.
Was the wall I did last time good?
No, it was terrible.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's cap.
Can you watch that angle for me, Jonathan?
Yep.
This one's a much better wall. Still not the wall that I like, but honestly, this is pretty solid. This is usually good enough.
Okay, I'll go in.
Let's see.
Oh, that's a perfect moment where you just don't overcomplicate things. He has to drop and kill you. He has to be looking at you. Just hold the angle. He drops, you get the kill. He probably didn't have to overcomplicate it by thinking a bigger brain. Sometimes monkey brain is good enough brain. All right, 2 picks. There's no way you can screw this up. You have the smokes, you just run up. That's literally all you have to do. There's one cypher maybe on site. That's probably it.
Nice, guys.
Nice suck.
Could I get a heal, Sage?
Recovering it for you.
Thanks.
Please, smoke spawn. No, smoke, one more smoke, please. Throw. You have more smokes.
Did I pick up a gun?
You can throw the smokes. Why are you not crossing out to site?
Out of the chat.
Throw the smokes. Use it. No. Just smoke, please! Oh my god, Okay. Those are smokes. I'm sorry, the star you're placing them in great places. You know, 100. A+, okay? But they're smokes. They're stars for smokes, not stars for stunts, not stars for pulls. You're gonna get punished super hard as the higher you climb in elo, just because smokes matter a lot.
Out of the chat. Blasting them.
Right, you're so lucky, right? The thing is, like, in your mind, you're like, I'm ready. I'm a fuck up this canteen player, you know? Your days are numbered. And then there's 2 on the left, so you're clearly not ready for both fights, even though you have control of making a smoke for either. Smoke left, fight right, fine. Smoke right, fight left, fine. Smoke both, even better. Don't not smoke anything. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Just going everywhere. That's really good.
Cypher's hit 40.
Enemy
What?
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Smoke, please. Dead. Upper, dead. Please smoke.
I was in front of him.
Stop pulling that one. Please, stop. You're just open to so many angles. There's just so much you have to deal with, and if they're on site, you're also dead. Okay, let's explain. Canteen, you have to fight canteen. You have to fight the CT spawn over here. You have to fight site. There's so many angles you have to deal with right now. If you smoke these 2, right, then you just have to focus on site. It's working because apparently I honestly have no clue where any of the defenders are. Is someone on site?
Nadine, left.
And you, don't. He is on site, but he just didn't peek you. You're very lucky.
Back there.
One
You
enemy
can smoke it. You can smoke it. Smoke it. Okay. Yeah. This guy allergic to smokes. I'm sorry, bro. You allergic to smokes.
But it'd be cool, oh. Now we are here.
Alright, Astra on B, not a bad site to play on, although I would not recommend 5 stars. The reason why I'm saying this is you can only activate, what, 3, 4 abilities at once, right? So you have smoke, pull, concuss, right? So 4. When are you ever going to use that many? Very rarely. The only one that realistically matters is pull. Concuss is okay, but now you are running a classic with no armor. It's overkill. I'm willing to bet. I haven't watched this, by the way. I haven't watched this. I'm willing to bet he's not going to use like more than half of these stars.
Tower and...
Let's watch.
Eternity blesses us.
Oh, maybe that would have been...
There's a solid chance he just dies before he uses his stars too.
I'm just gonna like jiggle peek this. Like disengage immediately.
That is good. If you have 5 stars, you really should. Otherwise, what's the point of buying 5 stars just to have not use them? All right, he's already up on site. Okay.
Taking that back.
They're on site.
Nice.
That one?
Don't go to bye-bye.
Oh, classic. Right click demon. Keep going.
Oh, tower,
Okay.
tower.
0 stars used. Not a single one was used on that pistol round. Don't buy stars if you don't actually know in your mind what you want to plan to use them for. All right, so let's talk about this general thing. When you're using your abilities for different positions, so let's say you have one at the B main entrance, you have one toward arcade. You have to know when to trigger them, right? So essentially putting a star there when you have no idea when to pull, smoke, or concuss, that star is doing nothing. Because you need to know, right? So essentially, the triggers that you have are yourself. You jump spot, you see that someone's there. Noise, so you hear something. Your teammates see something, or utility like alarm bot, trips, stuff like that, that give you an indication of when you need to activate these abilities. Putting stars here, when you don't know if the jet has any like way of knowing if anyone's there, is kind of a waste of utility. Putting a star B main when you're supposed to be in charge of looking B main and then not looking B main also does essentially nothing. So in that case, you're going to really want to play with a star that you're kind of babysitting, where you're kind of like looking at it and you're occasionally making sure it's like, oh, do I need to use it? No, not yet, not yet. Not yet. Don't need to use it yet. This is why Astra is very hard at a lower rank, because you're already trying to focus on so many things. When you're at a higher rank, your aim is all intuitive. Your crosshair placement is intuitive. Your decision making and game sense is intuitive. So you can focus on learning stuff like this, placing down stars fast, looking at the mini map, because essentially when you're playing Astra, you're kind of playing mini map simulator. All in all, just make sure that utility that you're placing down has a reason for it, and not that you're just placing down stuff for the sake of placing it down. All right, that was the entire VOD. Thank you so much to Namfo, NamF0, sorry if I'm butchering your name, for submitting the VOD. And before anyone says anything mean in the comment section below, keep in mind that every single coaching session that I've had, and I've had over 50 now, I've picked apart every single player all the way up to Immortal. Every player has things to work on. That includes me. And when I VOD review myself, I also am very harsh on myself. I like to bring up all the issues that I can see right at face value so that you know exactly how much room for growth that you have. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. It greatly helps out the channel. And if you want to be featured in the next video, I have a Google Forms link in the description. Fill it out and I'll take a look at it, and you might be the next person I roast. The Astra bind guide will be coming out next, so I'll see you in the next one. And as always, peace out.